Welcome, everybody, to the 3 Count Podcast, co-hosted of the Swiss Sports Show. My name's Tyler Sumner, and today we got a very big episode because we have our first sponsor, and it's none other than Kim's Cool Creations, who is a graphic design company who makes glass blocks, glass tiles, all that and more. And as you can see right here, handmade a Boston Sports glass tile for just $40. Link will be down in the description below if you want to make a purchase. It'll greatly help out the podcast as well. Now, introducing the biggest Jaguars fan I know, one of the biggest Austin Theory fans I know, one of the biggest Grayson Waller fans I know, the guy who likes odd wrestlers for no reason, Mr. Grant Flood. Thank you for joining the show.
Throw Damian Sandow on that list. I always get ranked on for liking him back in the day.
And now the biggest Boston Bruins fan I know, one of the best YouTube live streamers there is out there, one of the best minds for the professional wrestling on the podcast for the planet, Mr. Sam Smith. Sam, how are you?
Good. I am excited for this. I have been preparing my list. I have gone back. I've watched matches again.
As have I.
I think I compiled a very good list of matches that were considered the best and also some of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I kind of went off the same thing as that. I think my number one is going to shock you guys. But without further ado, Grant Flood, let's get into it. What do you got at your number 5 for the top 5 matches of 2023?
So number 5 match I got for 2023 will be the women's war game match. Now, I thought it was the match of the night. It was utterly incredible. I mean, I just loved every second of it. To the ending, Becky Lynch, the power slam on Bayley through the table. Great way to end the match. Io Sky's falling down from the top of the ring with the trash can. I mean, a ton of crazy stunts in that match. Props to the women involved because they absolutely killed it. It was really cool to see Charlotte and Becky hug in the middle of the ring too. So overall, I just thought it was a great match in terms of storytelling and in-ring performance.
I think that would be an honorable mention of mine, and I want to elaborate on that because we talked about this on the podcast before we went on break. That match was incredible, without a doubt.
That was the match of the night. Like the men's War Games match was more memorable for the returns, but the actual in-ring performance for best match of the night was the women's War Games match. Absolutely.
Absolutely, I agree. Sam, what do you got at your number 5?
My number 5 for my top 5 matches of the year is from Monday Night Raw, September 4th, 2023, the main event, Gunther versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. This was probably the best technically wrestled match of the year across the entire industry, not even just WWE. That includes AEW, that includes New Japan and TNA and Ring of Honor and all that. I think this match told a story. It delivered, and it got a 4.75 star rating from Dave Meltzer. I don't really count that, but that is a pretty big deal for a Raw main event. Usually you don't get those types of numbers. I would put that as a 5-star match.
Very well said.
It was a 25-minute main event on Monday Night Raw. It was easily Raw's best match of the year. So might as well throw it on there.
Yeah, that was another honorable mention. I was tossed and turned between if I wanted to put that one on there. At my number 5, this match to me was just one of the most fun matches of the year. At number 5, I got from Backlash in Puerto Rico, Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. I love this match, man. I went back and watched it today. This match was just so fun. From the broken arrow off the bins into the table, to Bad Bunny playing the cymbals over Priest's head and destroying Priest's knee, to the return of Carlito and Savio Vega. That match was just so fun. So yeah, my number 5, I got Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest, and also probably the best pop of the year besides CM Punk.
Oh, yeah, it was Carlito, 100%.
No, for Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's entrance.
Bad Bunny, yeah, that's right. Carlito got a massive pop, too, but no, the Bad Bunny, I mean, everyone just singing the lyrics to a song while he's coming out. I mean,
exactly.
It still gives me goosebumps watching that.
Exactly.
It's so incredible.
When everybody starts singing, when everybody started singing Kambea, which is the song that he walked out to, I remember watching that live, and I just saw the hair on my arm start raising up. I was like, oh my God, 15,000 people in unison singing that song. And then just the crowd was electric that entire weekend, the night before for SmackDown and Backlash. I mean, that was easily probably one of my favorite shows of the year was Backlash.
I'll say this. I think Puerto Rico had the best crowd this year.
Oh,
absolutely.
By far.
Absolutely.
All right, Grant, what do you got for at number 4?
All right, number 4 time. So we had the women's War Games match at 5 for me. Number 4 for me is Sami and KO versus the Usos at WrestleMania 39. I don't know if that shocks you being on the list, or maybe it's too low. I don't know, but for me, it was definitely the storytelling here. You knew that the Usos had that record title reign, and you knew that with Sami Zayn betraying the bloodline, you kind of sense that he was going to get revenge. Obviously, with Roman being KO at the Royal Rumble, you kind of knew that, you know, the good guys were favored to win this match, and it was kickouts galore. It was an amazing 25-30-minute match. The crowd was rocking the whole way through, and I mean, the crowd popped the call for Michael Cole when the 3 count was hit. The record championship run was over for the Usos, and overall just an incredible story to end night 1 of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, see, I wasn't shocked that it was on this list. I was shocked at how low it was.
Really? Okay.
And as you stated, Grant, it's on my list later, so I'll elaborate my feelings on it, but that match was amazing. That match was amazing. Sam, what do you got for us at number 4?
Number 4 was also from WrestleMania, and it was the same night, but it was not the same match. Number 4 on this list for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I knew it. I'm happy I'm not the only one.
Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Match of the night. I don't care. Usos and Sami Zayn versus and KO. That's coming later on the list, but this was my personal favorite match of the entire weekend. They delivered. I wasn't really expecting much out of this match. I kind of walked in like going, oh, okay, this should be a fun little 20-minute match. They stole the show. And sure, the main event was freaking insane, but I remember screaming more during that match than the main event for some of the spots they had. Like, just
100% right. I was right next to him.
The false finishes, the storytelling, Charlotte's foot. Sometimes there was a couple of moments where it's kind of ironic now that I say that, but Charlotte's foot. There was a storyline injury where she got a little banged up during the match. The rip tied off the top. That was match of the night.
Yeah. At my number 4, I have Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber in Montreal.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
That match was really good. You know, it was coming, and this was still when the Bloodline feud was in its prime.
Right.
You know, Sami, to this day, I don't think Roman has had a better title match than that match against Sami.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I think Sami was the closest one to so far beat Roman Reigns. I truly believe that. The other one I had at number 4 that I was tossed to put in there was the Bloodline Civil War.
Same, I'll put that on here too.
I was tossed to put that on there.
Almost.
But, I mean, the near falls in that match, the Jey Uso, the facial expressions by Jey. Just. Yep. So, yeah, number 4, I got Sami versus Roman. Grant, what do you got at your number 3? Top 3, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So my third, it wasn't a one-on-one match, so I might get a little flock for this, but I actually put the Men's Royal Rumble at 3. And it was one of the better Rumbles, in my opinion. I know you both are like, that's
one of his floodisms, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably is matches that were better. But I thought overall it was pretty well done. And of course, Cody and Gunther being the last two and just absolutely going insane for the final 10 minutes of that match just really kept me on the edge of my seat. If it wasn't, Cody and Gunther as the final two, I don't even think it cracks the list for me. But it was the final 10 minutes of that match that really just had my attention the whole way through. Cody won. It was a really good feel-good story moment for Cody Rhodes and his fan base. So I really liked it. And overall, I thought the Rumble was pretty solid. It only lasted like an hour and 10 minutes. So I thought it was pretty cool.
See,
overall.
Grant, the thing is, and I'm sure Sam can agree with me on this maybe, we respect your opinion, but how can that be in your top 5 when it's not even the best match on that card?
Fair. Why? What do you think?
Because strictly in my opinion, I think the Women's Royal Rumble was the best match of that night.
Thank you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I
okay.
thought the Women's Rumble was good too, but
Can I say this? The Men's Rumble,
it was disappointing because they spoiled Cody's return.
it's not even that. It's just that you knew he was winning. From the minute that he was announced he was coming back, you knew the man was winning. Sure, the final 10 minutes was awesome and it was amazing, but the whole idea, I mean, there was only like one surprise in that entire match. It was Booker T. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Booker T, but that was the only surprise the entire match. The women's match had a couple of surprises. Chelsea Green, who we didn't know.
Nia Jax
Randomly coming out before the damn clock was done. I don't know. I feel like the women's match was better, but I respect it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to rewatch them both and kind of maybe get a better gauge on it. I'm not sure. I thought the men's Rumble was pretty cool, but again, maybe I'm only thinking of the last, like the final, like 5 and not like the whole match as a whole. Maybe.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
That's what I'm probably thinking.
Mr. Smith, what do you got in your number 3 slot?
My number 3 spot was a fun match. There are 2 matches on this list that are from this night. Number 3 was from Payback. It was Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus inside of a steel cage. So the storyline sucked. It absolutely sucked. However, this match was phenomenal.
Best women's cage match in history.
I disagree with that, but I will say that it was probably, if it wasn't for another match that's on this list, it was the match of the night. I remember there's a couple of huge spots. Trish getting hung up on the cage, like almost in like a tree of woe position. She's like this. She's like backwards. Her feet are dangling, and she's like on the other side of the cage. It was wild. Couple of high spots off the top with the superplex off the cage. Becky with the finish, the manhandle slam off the top rope. I thought the match was great.
At my number 3 spot, I have an NXT match.
Ooh, I didn't even think about NXT.
I didn't think about it.
I didn't even think about it. NXT Vengeance Day. Wesley versus Dijak.
Yes.
That match. Oh my God.
Yep. Hard hitting.
Hard hitting. Near fall after near fall. Dijak literally basically decapitating Wesley.
Yeah.
Like that match, chef's kiss. 5-star classic.
That was a great match.
All right. We are now in the top 2. Grant Flood.
Oh boy. My number 2, I think this was very controversial, but I have the Usos versus Roman and Solo at Money in the Bank.
The Bloodline Civil War. Okay.
I mean, listen, the fact that it was 3 whole years that Roman wasn't pinned at that point, I mean, it was incredible. I thought Roman and Solo won that match at least like 5 times in my head before the final splash off the top rope, because, I mean, it just felt like a feel-good moment for the Usos, but more importantly than that, it was like Roman could be beaten. I remember Roman hit the spear and then the low blow to kick out at 2. That is still like a jaw-dropping moment, in my opinion, and one of the best moments this season, or this year for WWE. They all had a lot of good tag teams over the years, but I just felt, or over this past year, but I just felt that the Money in the Bank one was better than the first one, right? The one
At
where
Night of Champions.
yeah, Night of
Yeah.
Champions. I thought the Money in the Bank match was just a little bit better.
It was.
All right, Mr. Smith, what do you got at number 2?
Number 2 comes also from Payback. It is for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It is a Steel City Street Fight. The Judgment Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Absolute chaos here.
Absolutely
contest.
loved it. Absolutely
This
loved
was the
this
match of the night. The main event sucked. Sorry, Seth and Shinsuke. But this match absolutely delivered. Even though it was a surprise ending with the Judgment Day winning, I didn't care who won. The match was still chaos. I mean, you know what won me over? Seeing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn bloodied up in Penguins jerseys, trying to chase them with hockey sticks. I'm a big hockey fan. That made me go insane. I was like, what the hell am I seeing? No, but that match was probably the best. I don't know if I want to say it. Yeah, I'll say it. Best tag team match of 2023. That one right there.
At my number 2, I have what I believe is the best tag team match of 2023.
Is it?
The Usos versus Sami and KO.
Yeah.
This match, this match, it was so storytelling. Sami Zayn finally getting his moment.
Yep.
Sami Zayn bringing down the house that he basically put together.
Yeah.
Then you had KO, who's been beaten, victimized, all of this by the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to finally get that win over the Bloodline. And Michael Cole's call, to say the least,
The Bloodline. The Bloodline be damned.
Yep. Number 1 time. And folks, before we reveal our number 1, just want to say we're going to give some early Rumble predictions here. Just the men's Rumble match. We're going to do that later on after we finish our number 1 spot.
Cool.
Mr. Flood.
All right. My number 1. Oh God. I don't know how you guys are gonna react. I'm almost scared to say because you guys are either gonna agree or you're really gonna disagree. But night 2, WrestleMania, Gunther, Sheamus, McIntyre, the triple threat. I mean, oh my goodness, what a hard-hitting match between 3 guys that just really wanted to win the Intercontinental title. As a Sheamus fan, I thought that was the night he would finally become the Triple Crown winner. Did not happen. Gunther retained, and I think what is right up there with the Chad Gable match on Raw as his best title defense since he's been the champion. Oh my goodness. The whole 25 minutes, I was just absolutely starstruck. We had a couple of near falls for every single wrestler in the match. I mean, who doesn't love a good Gunther match? And
I don't disagree
this one
with you.
especially.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't hate that pick, but
Good.
it completely slipped my mind. Mr. Smith, what do you got as the best match for 2023?
Goodness gracious. Well, I was conflicted, so I put 2 on here because I don't know who to pick. All right, so because there are 2 matches that happened this year.
Then have one as your honorable mention.
All right. Match of the year came from NXT.
Is this honorable mention or match of the year?
This is the match of the year, and I think it's not even a question. It was the most hard-hitting match of the entire year. It was the second of the trilogy. I don't remember which pay-per-view it was.
No Mercy.
It was No Mercy. No.
Yeah, it was No Mercy because we watched that one.
No,
together.
whatever the first one was. Whatever the first one was. I don't remember then. It was the first one between Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov from NXT.
I knew you were gonna say that. The second you said NXT, I knew it. That was a great match too.
My honorable.
Oh, was it Battleground?
Yes. No. Hold on. I gotta look it up.
Battleground was the first one. No Mercy was the second.
I gotta figure it out. Whatever the first one was, I gotta watch it. I gotta go back and find out. In the trilogy. So Let's see here. Trying to find out where it was. Come on. Where is it? NXT Great American Bash. That's what it was. That's what it was. NXT Great American Bash, Ilya versus Carmelo for the NXT Championship. Match was amazing.
All right. So for my number one, I have a women's match.
All right. Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
My number one match is Rhea versus Charlotte.
Yep.
Santi himself even said it. You could put this up there in the conversation for the greatest WWE women's match of all time. You very well could. This match, and the thing that thrived off of this was there was no storyline. And they just cooked in the Triple H said to go out there and cook for 30 minutes. And damn it, they did. And this is what put Rhea Ripley over, I believe. This is what put Rhea Ripley over.
Absolutely.
You know? That match is just. Is it bad that I say that match was better than Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns?
No.
I thought it was.
I thought it was. And no offense to Cody and Roman. That was the match of night 2 besides the triple threat. However,
you should have kept Solo out of it.
You knew that match was going to be amazing. You didn't know Rhea and Charlotte was going to be fantastic. You didn't know that.
Exactly.
You walked in like, okay, this is going to be a good match.
It could have been a barn fire.
I am happy that none of us said that Rhodes and Roman were in the top 5. And I was at first contemplating about literally putting it at 5 because the match was incredible. And we know that Cody and Roman have tremendous ring chemistry together. But again, it's just the whole, it's not even Roman winning. It's the whole interference. If they had Roman win clean, I wouldn't have an issue with it because it would be interference. I just, as a WrestleMania night 2 main event, it just still doesn't really sit well with me. So that's why I left it off. I would probably rank that match like 7th or 8th, but
yeah. Well, guys, we got some time to fill here, so let's just chat for a little while. You know what? While we're going through these 2023 things, I'm gonna ask you some categories real quick.
I have a question.
Yes, Sam.
Can we do our WWE Awards of the Year?
Ooh, right now? Absolutely. Right now. Absolutely. Right. So shall we go with Breakout Superstar of the Year?
Can I lead this? I can kind of lead the charge here on this one.
The categories and stuff?
What?
You got all the categories? What are we doing? Like Breakout Star of the Year?
I'll name them as we go. We'll just kind of think about it for a second.
All right. I love it. On the fly.
On the fly. I just thought about it. I was like, let's do it. All right. So here is the WWE Awards of the Year.
Presented by the 3 Count Podcast.
First one. The Breakout Superstar of 2023 is, for me, it's LA Knight. And there's no question about it. That dude took off.
Yeah, there is no question. LA Knight is definitely the Breakout Superstar of the Year. The only one I was going to put up in contention with it was Wesley.
Yeah, sure.
I was going to put Chad Gable in that conversation as well because he really exploded on the Raw roster. But I agree. It's the one and only LA Knight. 100% on that one.
All right. Entrance of the Year. Let's go around the table. Grant, what is your entrance of the year?
I mean, are we doing off like great entrance or like loudest crowd pop?
1 sec. Do you guys want to end this one and then go into another one so we have more time?
Yeah. Let's wrap up this question first. We'll open a new one.
Okay.
Sounds good. So I guess if we're gonna have to do best entrance of the year, I mean,
like the category for best entrance is everything: loud crowd pop, crazy entrance.
I almost don't want to throw shade at other great entrances, but how could it not be CM Punk? How could it not be? I feel bad. I want to say something maybe more creative than just a surprise ending to a show, but I think it's got to be Punk.
That was a surprise. Yeah, 100%.
For
Tyler?
me, I might get backlash for saying this. And no, that's not a reference to what I'm going with this. I think it's Roman at WrestleMania 39 with the pianos.
Oh, yeah, the piano.
No,
I
that
love
It's
was
him
good
walking
one.
out.
Okay.
I think that's the entrance of the year.
Mine is a little more creative, and just because I didn't expect this at all, I'm putting both entrances from Dominic versus Ray at WrestleMania. Now, let me explain.
Mm.
Dominic coming out in the van with the sirens is so comedically perfect. I literally started laughing. And Ray's entrance, I popped when Snoop Dogg showed up. They came in on the lowrider to Snoop Dogg, and then Eddie's music hits, and I'm like, all right, this is great. And then Ray somehow comes up from the bottom of the stage, somehow runs up real quick, and like pops out like 2003 Ray pops up out of the stage and just starts doing his whole thing. I thought it was great.
All right. Well, we're going to end this one, and then we will be right back.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, like, my entrance was Roman Reigns for Roman Reigns match of the entrance of the year. And Sam, I know you said Dom and Ray's was yours. So what do you got for the next category for us?
All right. So the tag team / stable of the year.
I think we're all unanimous on this one.
Okay. Grant, you can go first.
Well,
Tag team or stable?
So like tag team, like
So tag team of the year.
okay,
Or like a faction.
okay. I'm gonna go Judgment Day. Just simply because of how well they've done this year, how well they've broken out. Finn Balor has kind of shown that, and Damian Priest as well. They've kind of shown that they don't need to be solo stars. Rhea Ripley doing a great job as women's champion, as we mentioned, and Dirty Dom was a North American champ for a little bit, but he is still one of the top heels in the business right now. So give me Judgment Day.
I second that. I'm with Judgment Day.
I third that.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, good.
Judgment Day is the faction of the year. All right. Next up, best promo of the year. This category is the best, well, it's quite simple, best in-ring promo of the year.
Can I go?
Yep.
Seth Rollins, CM Punk. I think that's the best promo of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Punk's promo leading into Seth, then coming out, and then Seth cutting a full-on shoot. Just
All
wait.
right.
Oh wait, yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that right. Grant, what's your promo of the year?
I mean, there's a few that really stood out to me, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna go. Maybe it's because we were all there in Providence, but I think we're gonna go with Punk calling out Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and the rest of the locker room. Kevin Owens. I mean, I just thought personally it was not only comedic, but he was there to send a message. That was only his second promo back, and he knew, hey, I have to show my respect in the ring before I get the respect back in the locker room. And I got completely what he was saying. So it looks like hopefully they build up to a feud later on down the road with Seth Rollins or something. So I think that promo was a stepping stool to what is to come. So give me Punk's promo in Providence.
The funny thing about that promo was, not a lot of people in the building picked up on it, but I picked up on it when he said, when he mentioned that you can't be going around punching people backstage. I thought that was
yeah.
He's talking about AEW.
Subtle shot at Tony Khan and AEW. Oh, that whole thing. Remember, like, after that happened, when CM Punk got fired from AEW, and then Tony Khan, before Collision in Chicago, came out on the stage and said, I have never ever feared for my life at a wrestling show. Oh, awful. And apparently today, oh god, So this is completely off topic to anything, but today Tony Khan was doing a media call for AEW's pay-per-view this weekend, World's End, I think it's what it's called, over at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. He was doing a media call for them. Apparently, he uses cagematch.net to rank how well he's doing at booking AEW and Ring of Honor. Cagematch.net. This is
I did see
brother.
that, and I was hysterically laughing because what the heck? He's already done a bunch of stuff wrong, but like, come on, man.
Good God. Ugh. Anyway, promo of the year for me is there's a couple of things that I can put for that for promo of the year.
Can I guess one?
Can you guess one?
Yeah, can I guess one?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it Cena and Sikoa?
No. Oh, that's definitely one of the better ones. For me, the promo of the year was right before WrestleMania, Cody and Roman. The Raw before WrestleMania, they just started shooting on each other. Roman started
When Roman's
saying,
like, "Have you ever held one of these?"
right, that one. And then Roman also said, like, so you couldn't do the Stardust thing. So what did you do? You ran away. And then you went and started your own promotion you couldn't get over in. The subtle shots at Cody was so good. It was so funny. And then Cody calling out Roman for not winning a match clean. Like, it just felt real. So that was really good. I thought that was the promo of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Oh, God. All right.
I got chills, though, when Punk said in his promo against Seth, "Are you done?
Yeah.
That's your
funny.
one pass. For you ever
Everyone
talking
pass.
disrespectfully to me again without me coming after you."
Good Lord. All right. The rivalry of the year.
Okay, I have my answer,
Go for it.
but
Ooh. I stumped you guys. I got you guys with this one.
my
You
I don't know how
did.
to
I don't
word
really
it.
know who to say.
I want to say Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Should I just say the Bloodline storyline in general? Because there was rivalries within the Bloodline.
Yeah, fair enough. I will say,
Or are you gonna say best? Are you gonna save best storyline for another category?
I was gonna go with that, but that's
Then just go with that, because then the best rivalry of the year, in my opinion, I'm gonna say this for one reason because of what we got out of it: LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. Because Bray got LA Knight over.
okay. I will say this.
Or if you don't want me to go off of that,
No. That's fine. If that's what you go for,
I'll go
then
Rollins Nakamura.
the storyline was fine. The matches kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rollins Nakamura myself, but then I remembered I wasn't really wowed by a lot of their matches, so I was kind of that's what stumped me because that's what I was originally gonna say, but that's why I waited.
I'm gonna back up to LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. As much as the rivalry did so much for LA Knight, the rivalry itself, like the storyline going into the match, was kind of lackluster, and so was the match. But I understand why you said it.
So then I'll actually pick my main rivalry of the year. It's an NXT one.
Right?
Dragunov versus Hayes.
That was a really good. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
They had 3 solid matches.
Absolutely. They did. Grant, what's your rivalry of the year?
Well, I mean, again, I'm trying to get more into NXT, but it's still not there yet. So I usually kind of stay away from NXT stuff when I talk about it, unless I'm really confident about Love Ilya Dragunov. And I know all 3 of their matches were great, but I've only seen one of them. So it's kind of tough, but call me cliche, whatever. I think I'm just gonna go Cody Roman because
Yeah.
the storyline leading up to the match was absolute cinema. Like
It was
every
great.
single promo had me on the edge of my seat. The promo before the Raw before Mania, as we mentioned, was great. And they tried to continue the story before the, Rhodes Brock feud. They tried. It looked like they were going to continue that story into SummerSlam before Brock did the heel turn. So overall, though, I was pretty impressed by how that whole WrestleMania main event, it was built up like a WrestleMania main event should have been. So
Yeah. Which they haven't done in a long time, which is what I'm also going to say for Rivalry of the Year was Roman and Cody. And it's simply because it felt like a big match. Sometimes for WrestleManias, for main events, the matches don't really feel hyped. Even though they could be good, they don't hype it up properly.
case in point with Rhea and Charlotte.
Well, no, for like a main event.
For like
of
a main
WrestleMania.
event, though. Gotcha.
Like, they actually did a really good job of building both main events this year for Mania. Usos and Sammy and KO. That felt real with Sammy and KO finally reuniting. That was great. You had Roman and Cody, which was phenomenal. But there's a couple of moments where you don't feel like they did a really good job at that. Case in point, Roman and Brock. WrestleMania 34. Not a great build. Roman and Taker. WrestleMania 33. Not a great build. You had Brock and Drew, which I'll blame some of it due to COVID, but at the same time, the build wasn't great. The only surprise moment was when Drew kicked Brock in the face in the last Raw before they went to the Performance Center. That's it. So sometimes they fell flat with WrestleMania main event buildings of the storyline. This year, they got it right. So that's what I think.
All right, what do you got next? Surprise moment of the year?
So this is the WTF spot moment of the year. A moment in the match that made you say, what the F?
I'm going to go with Ricochet putting Logan Paul through the table at Money in the Bank. And it ultimately set up the match at SummerSlam. When Ricochet made that move off the top rope, the little double flip into the table.
Spanish fly. Yep.
Yeah, Spanish fly. That was incredible. I was jaw dropped. I personally never really seen that move before. And only, small, nimble wrestlers like Ricochet who are really athletic can really nail those moves down to a T. I was overall impressed by the Spanish fly, so I'll go with that one.
I got another one. Involving Ricochet and Logan Paul. The Royal Rumble. The flying across the ring, the double line across the ring. That's the best moment. That's the best spot of the year for me.
Bingo. Best. Okay, so the WTF moment of the year, the moment in a match that made you say, what the F?
I mean, I also thought about saying Edge chucking a ladder at Finn.
That's a good one too.
And
I remember
Finn just 14 staples.
I mean, okay. All right, cool. I have one. The WTF spot of the year came at Survivor Series.
Io Sky.
No.
Or in JD.
It was when Randy Orton RKO'd JD. And the reason why is because JD, it's not because the moments that made me say, what the F, the build to it made me say, what the F, because they were taking 20 seconds to throw him off the damn cage. I don't know.
The second you said that, I was like, it's because they took 20 to 30 seconds to set up the move properly. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, that was an awesome moment. I still popped when it happened, obviously.
Oh,
but...
yeah.
All right. Here we go. Here are the big ones.
Okay.
Male Wrestler of the Year.
For me, it's Damian Priest.
Interesting.
Priest excelled to all expectations this year. He had breakout moments. He won the Money in the Bank match. He He had a great feud with Bad Bunny, a top 5 match of the year at Backlash Puerto Rico. He's an undisputed tag team championship, one of the centerpieces of the Judgment Day. And yeah, I think Damian Priest is the male wrestler of the year.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not see that coming out of you, but I'll take it.
I did not. I like it though. I like it.
Grant, who's yours?
I'm gonna go Jey Uso. I guess just the Usos I guess the Usos in general, but Jey really gets the crowd going with the yeet and the entrance. And he showed without Jimmy, he could still be a main event superstar, as they both did. Both Usos, round of applause. My God, did such a great job in the storylines this year. But Jey Uso especially really going from that full heel to full face turn, teaming up with guys like Cody and Randy and whatnot, just being part of that Backlash match was incredible. Or not Backlash,
War Games.
match.
War
Games. Overall, I was pretty impressed with how the Usos have kind of gone their separate ways, and they still are fantastic.
All right. For me, for male wrestler of the year, it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
That's the given answer. I mean, yeah, that there's not really much to it. Cody Rhodes is still the face of the company. He has been even though he lost at Mania, he's kind of getting the John Cena treatment, right? Let's think about this for a second. Cena lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 28. For the past 9 months since that happened, he's kind of had some interesting feuds. So did Cena. I mean, Cena main evented 2 pay-per-views with John Laurinaitis.
Mm-hmm.
And that build up to WrestleMania 29. Cody Rhodes getting the John Cena treatment. What happened at WrestleMania 29? John Cena beat The Rock. I think Cody beats Roman at Mania this year.
Nope.
He's getting the John Cena treatment. It's obvious if you think about it.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, why else would you throw him in rivalries with Brock and the Judgment Day and now Nakamura? Why else would you be doing this? Because you're trying to come up with brand
I'm sorry
for the Rumble and Mania.
I want Roman to break Hogan's record. That I stand by that.
No, at least have him stop cheating. I know that's his thing. He has to cheat, but it's just getting way too monotonous at this point.
But now I will say this when we elaborate on Roman, I'd say Roman's my backup after Cody.
Can I say this?
Even though Roman wasn't around much, I think Roman, if Roman stayed around still, but you got to look at Roman's first half of 2023 up until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I think Roman's in contention for the best wrestler of 2023.
I'll just say that.
And I'll say this. Roman can't go back to a face ever. Ever.
He could.
If he does, it's going to be bad.
You know what will be bad? WWE's going to lose its steam if Cody does not win at WrestleMania. That's my hot take. WWE is going to lose its steam. And the reason why is Cody is super over still. They want this guy to be the champ. And they don't want him to beat Seth. Who cares? They want him to beat Roman.
I wonder what the reaction's going to be like when Cody beats Roman at Mania.
I'm just going to say, finally, thank you, Triple H. You finally pulled the trigger on something that should have been done a year ago.
No, I know the crowd's going to erupt, but I think after they erupt, I think we're going to be sitting here in shock and be like, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they want.
Because you got to think, we've never seen anything like this in our lifetime.
No. And that's what they want us to do. They want us to think, wow, it's over. Roman's title reign's over. The reign of terror is over. That's why.
And I'll say this too. I'll elaborate. I think this puts Roman arguably in the top 5, top 10 conversation of all time.
This title reign, sure. I mean, this title reign is absolutely historic. It's absolutely historic. Cheating, but aside or not, he's still. Yeah, I just think it ends.
As the late Bobby the Brain Heenan once said, all great heels find a dirty way to win.
Right.
And
but
Roman's
sometimes
done that.
you have to have the heroic babyface overcome the cheating to win the match. And that's why I think Cody is going to become the champ at Mania this year. That's why.
All
You
right.
have that's why, I think. All right. Female superstar of the year. I already know your answer, Tyler. We already know what you're going to say. Grant, what are you thinking for
I got the same one. Who you think I'm gonna say? Who else could it even be? I mean, shout out to a couple.
Shout out Becky.
Shout out to Becky. Shout out to Selena Vega, who really impressed me this year. But it's
who also, by the way, we're gonna get more of Zelina. She just announced that she has signed a multi-year extension with WWE. So Zelina Vega sticking around.
I mean, Zoe Stark's another one. Cool. Liked her being called up, but I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm saying it. It's Rhea Bloody Ripley.
It's Rhea Ripley. It is. There is no argument about it. She's the most over women superstar right now.
She is. All right, I will say this: if it was not for Rhea,
Tiffany Stratton.
No, incorrect. That's close. My female superstar of the year. It is Rhea Ripley. But if it wasn't Rhea, Io Sky.
Yes, I was just tempted to say Io just to be different.
Right.
I really was, because SmackDown Women's Champ won the Money in the Bank. I mean, she is her in-ring work is sensational.
All right, so Tyler, you said you wanted to do Royal Rumble predictions.
Well, we have to do moment of the year first.
Well, okay, yeah. Okay. OMG moment of the year.
CM Punk's return to the WWE for the first time in 10 years. I don't think anybody's arguing that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like another like runner-up.
Maybe Cena at Money in the Bank.
Well, yeah, that return was kind of a complete surprise.
Well, that was a complete surprise, but all he did was just have a 10-minute promo with Waller. I mean,
Randy could be up there.
The Rock could be there, up in that conversation, showing up.
The Rock coming back to SmackDown. Yeah, that was pretty good one.
I think we can all agree Punk's the biggest moment of the year, but Rock is second. I think that Rock surprise was, first of all, unexpected, and number two, freaking cool.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with Rock at 2.
Yeah, so, all right. Tyler, Royal Rumble predictions. You want to do Rumble predictions? Go for it.
So you guys want to make I figured we could do match predictions for what we think are gonna be the matches at the Rumble, as well as our winners and the final fours in the Rumble.
All right. Maybe we can do a surprise in each match, like a surprise in each match.
Yeah, let's do that. So
cool.
I'm gonna start off with what I think is going to be the Women's World Title match at the Royal Rumble.
So that's Rhea's belt, right?
Yep. I think it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez again.
I'm with it. Those two.
I think it's going to be that. I think it's too soon to call it Cora Jade or Tiffany.
After Mania, I expect one of those two will be getting called up.
Yep. So I'm going to go. Actually, no. You know what? At the Royal Rumble, I think the Women's World Title match is going to be Bayley versus Rhea Ripley.
No, and the reason why is because I want Bayley to win the Royal Rumble. See?
Wait. Bayley's on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, my apologies. Then I think it's going to be Raquel versus
Rhea
at the Rumble.
Okay.
What do you guys think it's going to be?
Grant? Who's Rhea's opponent?
I have no idea. Oh my goodness! I feel like they just they're giving her the Cody Rhodes treatment. They just throw her in a million different rivalries.
Because they're protecting her. They're protecting her for Becky at Mania.
Oh man, as Shayna Baszler, I don't know.
I can see that. To be honest, I could actually see that. That's actually not that far fetched.
Good. I know they fought a few weeks ago or something.
Who is Rhea's opponent at the Royal Rumble? You know who I could see it being? Because they're kind of starting to build her up. And apparently,
Ivy Nile.
Yeah, because
she has a match so far at day 1.
Yeah, Ivy Nile from the Creed brothers, their manager. She's also a wrestler. They're fighting this Monday on Raw, which I'll be paying attention to. I think the match ends. Some bullshittery happens. Match ends in a DQ, and we have a rematch of the Royal Rumble. I think that's how it happens. Or there's some interference in the Judgment Day after Ivy Nile maybe starts doing good. That's what I think.
Have Dom like on the apron doing.
Yeah. And then there'll be some interference in Rhea and Ivy at the Rumble. I think that's what they're gonna do.
I don't hate that either. That's a good idea.
Because Ivy's a good wrestler. I don't know if you've seen some of her stuff in NXT. She's solid.
All right.
Solid.
United States Championship. Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul.
That's a given.
Yep. And Paul will win.
And yeah, Logan Paul's gonna win. I think Logan Paul will hold on to it till Mania. I think Logan Paul and Kevin Owens is going to be the United States Championship match. KO wins the tournament. He just beat Carmelo Hayes. He's gonna. Who is he facing?
Bobby
Santos
Lashley.
Escobar.
Oh, Santos.
Okay, so I'll check.
He's facing Santos.
He's facing Santos?
It is Santos.
And then who's Lashley facing?
Nobody. Santos beat Lashley.
Oh, so it's Kevin and Santos in the final.
Santos
Okay.
Lashley.
That's just gonna throw me off because this momentum Santos is on right now.
Yeah. It sucks, but Kevin's gonna win because they need a babyface to face the heel Logan, so Kevin wins. And then Logan Paul will beat him at the Rumble.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. The World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's a given.
Seth pins Drew.
So Seth and Drew face off on Raw on Monday for the world title. That's confirmed for Raw. I think it's going to be Drew too, but I don't know how they're going to get around that. Because the way the storyline's been told, it's kind of like, okay, this storyline has to end at day one. So how do they get around that? That's my question. I agree, but I trust Triple H to tell me why. Why is this storyline being elongated to the Rumble? And then after the Rumble, it has to be
by an interference by Priest, maybe. You know what? Scratch that. I think we get Priest versus Rollins at the Rumble.
Do you think Priest announces his cash in at the Rumble?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, sure.
I still think it's gonna be Seth and Drew. I'm wondering how they're gonna do that, but I could easily see Damian announcing his cash in Cena style.
The Women's Royal Rumble match.
All right, first of all, let's do a surprise. Who do we think is going to be in the Royal Rumble? A surprise entrant.
If I speak,
Come real close. Sasha Banks.
Yep, I was gonna say Sasha too. I haven't seen the rumors, so whatever.
Did you see the photograph that came out yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, Mercedes posted a picture outside of the TD Garden. WWE had a house show at the Garden last night. Our friend Harrison was there. Weird.
She's
and
back.
Well, she also posted something very interesting on Christmas. It was 3 words in 3 lines. It was happy, happy holidays. Each letter is H, 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 H. Triple H.
Wow. You're really looking into it.
It's Sasha. It's Sasha.
CM Punk did the same thing. He did the same thing with these internet teases. It's going to happen. And
good.
I don't know if she's going to come out as Sasha Banks, if she's going to come out as Mercedes Moné. I don't care. I just want her back in WWE. That's where she belongs. Another surprise I can honestly see besides Mercedes is AJ. I could see it.
Not wrong.
They've been mentioning her. They've been mentioning her on television. Cora Jade and CM Punk had a digital content video for NXT social media, and it was, what was your favorite tradition of the year? And Cora said that her favorite tradition was to go to the WWE house shows in Chicago after Christmas. And then CM Punk said, putting up the tree with my wife AJ. And then Cora Jade is like, yep, the Queen AJ Lee. Said her name straight up.
I mean, good. I want Sasha back. I want AJ back. I would love these. I would love if these women came back because it would truly be jaw-dropping moments. Oh my God, spit it out, Grant. Yeah, I would pop if both of them
AJ
came.
versus Mercedes, though. That match alone would be phenomenal. AJ and Mercedes.
I think they're gonna build that for Mania.
No, I don't know, but I think in general,
I
that's
think. Wait a
that's a
minute
great
here.
match.
If they both return, they could both be like, one overshadowed the other. Make that into a storyline. Maybe, or maybe one goes to Raw, one goes to SmackDown, or whatever. But
I think AJ goes wherever Punk goes. So we'll see what that happens.
The winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm still saying it. Sasha Banks.
No, it's Bailey.
I think it's going to be Bailey too.
And
I don't think she's going to face Rhea though. She's going to go after Io at Mania if the heel turn, if the face turn for Bailey ever happens.
Bailey throws Sasha out, and Bailey wins.
No, we got 10 minutes here. So I went Sasha, you went Bailey. You go Bailey, Grant?
I'm going Bailey.
Men's Royal Rumble. The surprise entrant, I think, in this. You heard it here first.
Oh, God. Who is it?
Oh
my God.
MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, teases a WWE.
Problem is with that. There's so many things that are wrong with that. Number one,
I'm joking. If you would have asked me like 2 years ago, yeah, I would have said that because he was teasing the bidding war. But my actual men's surprise entrant, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say Mox shows up.
he's also under contract with AEW.
Also under contract.
Dang
What?
it!
I have one. I have one.
Moose from TNA. Moose from TNA.
Sure, that's fine. I don't think the crowd will know him, but sure. I have one. He actually just announced that he left AEW today.
I was gonna say the same guy, Sam.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Sean Spears shows up in the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
I think. All right.
Maybe Braun Strowman too.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Legendary return. You know how he had like a Booker T return last year?
Yep.
What's a legendary return? Grant, it looks like you're about to say something.
I'm thinking it would be cool for Rikishi, but then how could he come back and just completely avoid all the bloodline stuff?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. I want Rikishi though, for whatever reason, but I don't
cool.
think it's gonna be him. Maybe we'll get him soon. I guess in terms of a legend that could just be a quick elimination. Give me JBL.
I could see that 100%.
I mean, he could stay in for a couple of minutes, maybe get maybe eliminate a jobber or something, and then just throw him out.
Throw out like an Angel Garza.
I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but he's been training.
Who?
JBL?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I lose my shit if he can't.
No,
I think
Austin. Not happening. Would be sick, but not happening.
I have one, and it's because I saw him take a bump at an indie show a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Mick Foley.
Yep.
Mick Foley is going to be in the Rumble. I'm calling it. Mick Foley's going to be in the Rumble. He'll be in there for a few minutes. He'll get thrown out. It'll still be cool to see him.
All right. Runner up.
The final two is going to be CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. That's the final two. But who do you throw out? Because
I'm going to tell you this right now, and this is how I think is going to happen.
Oh,
Punk throws Cody out. Punk gets Rollins at Mania.
But how does Cody get to Roman through the chamber?
Cody gets to Roman by going to him straight up.
Oh, just like, yo, I want you at WrestleMania. Let's do it again.
And then Roman's gonna say, you have to earn it. Out comes Nick Aldis. You have AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley,
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens in the Elimination Chamber in Australia.
That's going to be the most star-studded Royal Elimination Chamber ever. If that's what
And the
they
winner of that match faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
and Cody
And
wins.
Cody wins.
I love your guys' idea because straight up, Cody, it's been how many months now? He still hasn't had his rematch. He was promised a rematch the Raw after WrestleMania.
Right.
So he's going to hold that grudge against Roman, and that's what's going to really, I think, start this. The issue is, does Cody win the chamber? Does he get traded to SmackDown? Like, I don't know how this is going to work, though.
Okay, if Cody goes to SmackDown, which I think is something they're going to do very soon, Cody has to move to SmackDown to face Roman. Right?
And that was one of the problems with the last feud.
Right, because they were on separate shows. Cody goes to SmackDown. He just says, screw it. Sorry, Adam Pearce, rip up my contract. I want to go to SmackDown. Goes over to SmackDown and feuds with Roman. You could do that. You could literally have Cody come up to Roman and say, you owe me a rematch. And that's the end of it. You could literally have him do that. You could have him...
Or have him win the chamber, and then he goes up to Roman and say, you owe me a rematch. You can do something like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of things you could do. Either way, I could see them going 30 different directions with this, and it's not a bad thing. Which is great. It's the element of surprise. What are they going to do? But Punk wins the Rumble, and it's going to be him eliminating Cody. It's going to be a Cody and Gunther thing again. 5 to 10 minute match between the two, kind of going at it.
Punk, the crowd's going to be so split.
Which is going to be great.
I'm going to be so split. I think we're all going to be so split.
Yeah, Punk wins the Rumble. Night after Mania, night after the Rumble, challenges Rollins, and the match is made for Mania. Punk and Rollins.
I agree.
That's what I think they're going to do.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah,
so
I agree. My runner-up though, like if it's not any Cody or Punk, don't say I told you so. I could see it being Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I mean,
that leads me to my last topic of the day. The Intercontinental Championship match at the Royal Rumble will be Bobby Lashley versus Gunther.
Okay, I like that.
Because I think if you're going to send Cody over to SmackDown, you have to send somebody over to Raw. Send Lashley over to Raw.
Yeah. We didn't address this. We have about 3 minutes left. Who is Roman facing at the Rumble? You have to have Roman wrestle.
Randy. It's going to be Randy. It's going to be Randy.
I'm glad we're on the same page for that. Roman and Randy at the Rumble.
I would say Randy, or if the SmackDown match this Friday gets a little screwy and ends in disqualification, they have a four-way, which would be really cool. Also,
oh yeah,
Styles. You know what? We'll go with that. Solo interferes. We have a four-way. Roman retains, pinning Orton. That's what I'll go with.
Roman, Randy, AJ, LA.
Yep.
So do we? So with that being said, do we get that at the Rumble, and then at the Chamber we get Randy versus Roman in the proper one-on-one? Build up the feud a little more?
Perhaps. Sure. I'm down. I'd be down for that.
Do we think Roman's going to wrestle at the Chamber in Perth?
I would be shocked. I would be surprised if he didn't. I would be surprised if he didn't. Really? Yeah, they've been building up this show for months in Australia. They've already had advertising and stuff up.
For him on it?
Yes. I've heard stuff that The Rock's going to be there. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is Roman, Randy, LA, and AJ at the Rumble. Or Roman and Randy. It's one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I agree. All right, folks, but that'll do it here from the 3 Count Podcast, co-hosted by the Swiss Sports Show. From Sam Smith, Grant Flood, and Tyler Sumner. Thank you for joining us again, and check out the link in the descriptions to find access to Kim's Cool Creations for all of your graphic design needs. We will be back here in about 2 weeks' time to break down the so-called CM Punk Seth Rollins feud. We're going to get our thoughts on that. Goodbye, everybody, and good night. Mwah.
Bang.